Here's how we're going to do it this morning. It's a man, his horses, some coffee, and a vape. Yep, that's right. Got a new coffee maker the other day, and my coffee just tastes better. Anyway, I was looking at another short on YouTube by a guy named Chase, and he's been making the rounds. He claims he's ex-CIA or something. So, I mean, immediately there's some red flags there, but irregardless, he does have some insights. Well, obviously, if you work for the fucking CIA, you would think you'd have a few insights. And he covers a lot of stuff. Neuropsychology, behavioral psychology, even gets into different aspects of religion. Well, today he was talking about how people, human consciousness, how you are experiencing the universe because you are a part of the universe, or you are the universe, that sort of thing. And he referenced even things in the Bible like the kingdom of God is within you, and other things, not necessarily the Bible, but the Kabbalah. I can't remember what else, but anyway, that concept. The kingdom is within you, and you are the universe, and blah blah blah. Well, okay, let's break this down. I mean, every day you wake up into this reality, you are experiencing this reality. I mean, no duh, really? No shit. No shit, Sherlock, right? But is what you are experiencing the ultimate universe, the ultimate source? Or are you waking up every morning experiencing the demiurge, which of course is a Gnostic concept? And in my researchings, the Gnostics went further than anybody in describing what this reality is, how it came about, the fall of Sophia, blah blah blah, and the creation of Yaldabaoth, which is the imposter god, because he was created out of, he was supposedly created out of love. So, Sophia wanted to experience pure source or whatever, so she went out of her way to create this malignant being without the consent of the source, and created this blind, ignorant being that didn't even know its own place in the universe. And it was misaligned in every way. Even had the head of a lion and a serpent's body or some shit like that. And I don't know about all that. I mean, I think that's just something that humans might be able to grasp a little better than something quantum physics, because our minds are limited. So at least we can envision a a lion's head with a snake's body. Look at the sun popped up over those clouds. Well, anyway, let's just get back to it. The false reality that was created by this malevolent, ignorant being, which ended up being called the demiurge, and he created his servants, or whatever, enforcers. The enforcers of the realm, the archons. And in the Apocryphon of John, which I've listened to, I didn't read it because who reads anything anymore? I mean, some people do. And besides that, I was always kind of an auditory kind of person. So I listened to the Apocryphon of John. I mean, very interesting. I mean, it's kind of disturbing when you really think about it. And how humans were created by these archonic entities. I believe there were 365 of them or some shit, and each one had a role in creating the human body, the human form. So according to the Apocryphon of John, you were created by archons. Alright, well, let's just go from there. If you were created by archons, by this, you were created by archons, you were given this human form. But then, the human form, or whatever they created, it had no life. I mean, you couldn't really experience anything. I guess it was just a corpse laying there. I don't know. They threw together this body, this shit suit. They threw together a shit suit that couldn't do anything. And therefore, someone had to give it life. And I think Yaldabaoth tried, but he couldn't achieve, what the plan was. And I guess Sophia gave him a hand in that and kind of tricked him at the same time, and gave the corpse life, and at the same time installed a virus. Well, I don't know about that. If you want to think in computer terms, installed a spark. And the spark was the essence from the pleroma, the true source. So then, all of a sudden, this corpse not only, comes alive or whatever, but it becomes aware. It has consciousness, and it has abilities that even the archons don't have. Okay? I mean, an enlightenment. This consciousness, which some of us call a curse, because of the ability to perceive all these things, good and evil, duality. I mean, one wouldn't say, man, that's a blessing, to have it would be a blessing to have the knowledge of good. It would be a blessing to have the knowledge of everlasting life. It would be a blessing to feel nothing but bliss and peace and just feel great at all times. But that's not the case. We have this other side that experiences the pain and the death. And not only experience the death, but the inevitability of death. That puts quite a burden on a person. I mean, hell, horses don't think about that shit. All they think about is, when's my next round bale coming? Or my bale of hay? Or my grains? Or some alfalfa treats? They don't have the capacity to be in this predicament. Well, anyway, so going back to that short, I guess, that guy was presenting Chase. I think it's misleading. And here's why. I think people don't really get the full picture. The universe is within you and you can do anything. Well, no, if you're in this shit suit, you're still limited. Why is that? Because you're governed by the mind, the brain. And yes, according to Gnostics, the Apocryphon of John, your brain is one of those things that the Archons made up. These shit suits with a brain. So therefore, you get to experience the demiurge. Not the universe, the demiurge. Humans, in my opinion, in this form, with brains governing our perception, do not have the ability to perceive the ultimate source. Now, that's my opinion. And I remember Chiron last in many of his videos referencing the difference between the heart and the mind. And it took me a long time to really get it. And it makes me wonder if he was, had a lot of Gnostic in him. Yeah, he seemed that way. And he referenced Jiddu Krishnamurti quite often, who was also a very enlightened guy. And Krishnamurti was also like, your mind's the damn problem. I mean, and time for a little coffee and a vape. Like I said, it took a while for me to grasp this, and the reason is because of the programming. I mean, when you go through years and years and years of programming in this place, starts right as you come out of the womb. Right as you come out, your programming begins. What's the first level of programming? Fear. How could it be otherwise? Why do kids come into this place yelling and screaming? Because they're scared. They come out of a place of warmth in mommy's little womb there, and then they come out to this cold ass world with these medical people. I mean, unless you're fortunate enough to be birthed by a midwife in a swimming pool, have some cool experience like that. You go from embryonic fluid to a water birth. I mean, that's at least a little compassionate compared to what most kids get. So they come screaming and yelling, and then what? Then come the jabs. We already talked about that in a different video. The 72 jabs. The 72 jabs you're going to get. Little kitties. Woo-hee-hoo. That's right. Man, being birthed is a blessing these days. Makes you wonder if those antinatalists might have something going on. But anyway, I digress. Okay. So you come into this world yelling and screaming. That's the first level of programming, and then it just goes from there. Then comes the mommy and daddy experience. And for some, it's not even that. For some kids, it's just pure hell. They don't even get a real mommy and daddy experience. They get just abuse. That's what their whole existence is. They might be dead in a matter of days. You hear things in the news about kids being abused and treated like shit. And we're talking like infants. And so there's no guarantees in this place. It's all luck of the draw. What you might get, it's called a little life Russian roulette, if you will. So, okay, so you get this, so then you get the program. If you happen to make it further than that, if you happen to make it further than infancy, which many don't, tragically enough, because this place is pretty fucking evil, and so you make it past that. Well, okay, you make it to kindergarten, and then your programming really starts, or maybe even before that, church. Mommy and daddy take you in to the church, and if you were Methodist like me growing up, the pastor dipped his hand in some of that water, and put it on your head. Bless you, child. You are a child of the demiurge. And so, there's one level. There's another level of programming, and then it goes to preschool, kindergarten. You get to learn your ABDs and 1, 2, 4s, and all that bullshit. And so, all the way through grade 12. And then on from there if you want. Some were like, fuck this, I'm out of here at grade 9. I don't blame them. I think that if I were to do it all over again, knowing what I know now, if I could go back, God, isn't that everybody's, well, maybe not everybody, but sometimes I just wished I could go back and redo it. And if I could go back, I would leave high school early. That was foolishness. Stay in school and get your degree. Then go to college, and then blah, blah, blah. And then go out in the world and go to a job where you can basically act like you're in high school. That's how a lot of these job sites are, right? It's basically high school all over again. And, okay, so I've digressed a million times. So you're programmed. So it's hard to break out. So when you hear things that are really, really in depth, like a Chiron last or something like that, and I'm not saying he was, he was just a speaker, and he even admitted that, which I did find, likable about him. I felt like he was honest. He wasn't charging anything for his thoughts. He even said that. Said, I don't, information should be free. You shouldn't charge people for knowledge. If you have something to say, just fucking say it. And so I did find that respectable. And plus, a little coffee action. Looks like I'm running out. And and furthermore, he's like, well, and if you don't like what I say, just get off the channel, unsubscribe. And that's pretty good. Most people are not wanting to see that on their channels, are they? Oh, if I lose a subscriber, I might not be monetized or get all this money or whatever fucking people do on here on YouTube. Same way with me. I don't care about any of that. Unless somebody wants to. It's completely voluntary. Well, I mean, let's face it. You got to make ends meet in this place. But anyhow, so the programming and how difficult it is to break out of. Okay. Well, that's all by design too. It's called your brain, your central nervous system, and all that. And how that governs a person's perception. So when these people come on these little podcasts that they do or whatever, like this individual, Chase, you know, a person can be misled, like, oh, man, enlightenment has come, and I have the world by the balls. No. You don't have the world by the balls. Go within, the universe is inside of you. Well, if you really comprehend that, I mean, if you really look into that, what does that mean? I mean, if you're a human trying to perceive the universe and you think you think you are the universe, you might be deceived, because what people perceive every day, waking up in this reality, is likely not the true universe. I mean, it's very beautiful. I mean, look at it. Shit. Sunlight, warmth, sometimes bad things, tornadoes. And there's a mushroom. I wonder if it's psychedelic. I'm not going to try it. But, but anyhow, that was just kind of my thoughts on that, because you can't, you know, in this condition, you can't perceive the so-called pleroma. It's not possible. Therefore, the only thing you can really do is, like the Gnostics suggested, was just become aware of it. Aware of where you are. Gnosis. An awareness of where you are. And it's not your actual home. That was the basis of the Gnostic mentality, is to become aware that this place is not cutting the mustard, and it's not your eternal destiny either. In this reality, your body starts a process of decomposition as soon as you are born. And then you live for however long, and then you're dead. You're back into the ground. You're back to the soil. And according to Gnostics, if you haven't recognized who you are, which is a spark, a piece of the divine source, then you're likely just to repeat the whole process all over again. See, that's the thing. I mean, just to merely say, or to put out the notion that you are the universe, that's that New Age shit. You are the universe and blah, blah, blah. Well, humanity in its current form, 8, 9 billion shit suits, whatever, are collectively experiencing the demiurge, in my opinion. 8, 9 billion people wake up every day to feel hunger, to feel anxiety, maybe hopelessness, or maybe You feel on top of the world because you have a lot of money in your bank account. Doesn't matter. You're experiencing a knockoff reality, the demiurge. You know, it might just be better off. You know, they say homeless people are the most enlightened, which, if you really think about it, you can't argue about it because they have nothing. And there's nothing in this world that they find great, obviously, in their condition. And is that a bad thing? Man, I'm out of coffee. Well, it is if you think that this is all there is. I mean, if you think that this place is all there is, of course, that's all you're going to want to do is chase money, chase pleasure, attachments, everything that you can get, right? And that's what they push on people. That's what this place pushes on people. I mean, look at this celebrity worship that goes on. Oh, this celebrity died. And everybody's, oh my, you know, so sad because she was so great and we weren't. She was so famous, and see, that's the whole setup, to make you feel like you're inferior. You feel so inferior that you have to go chime in with the rest of the collective, or most, not everybody. You got to go chime in with the collective and, oh, she was such an icon. Oh, and the president is going to lower all the flags in her honor for a week, and we get to honor her for a whole week, this icon. Are you fucking kidding me? She had more plastic surgery than you could shake a stick at. That's nothing to worship. It's just another shit suit with an elevated status, probably granted by the damn system, this archonic system, which they're very good at doing. You know, Hollywood, all that shit, for years, just making people feel like, you know, a pissant, basically, because you have all these sellouts that, you know, I really do think that, have all these sellouts that do what they do for fame. And then they're in the magazines, all over the TV and the movies, whatever, and making the collective feel like, you know, peons, all by design. So see, I mean, that's the demiurge operating system, so to speak. I mean, you got to get outside of that. You got to say, you know what, fuck all that. Fuck that shit. I am a sovereign fucking soul, stuck in a meat suit with a brain. You're battling the brain every day. I mean, if you're if you're thinking like this, which many are struggling every day, battling their own minds, basically, because they know something's wrong. They know something's off. I mean, this can't be all there is. This can't. It can't be. And they're trying very, very hard to understand. Well, I will give you a bit of my own opinion. Just quit trying so hard. Just realize that you were made up by a bunch of archons. And it's not your fault, man. It's not my fault. It's not your fault. It's Sophia's fucking fault. Everybody wants to give Yaldabaoth the bad rap, right? I mean, Yaldabaoth, he did this Well, who ultimately did it in Gnostic thinking? It was Sophia, this essence of wisdom. Well, I don't know how wise it was to go do some shit like that and then set up this situation. Remember that? Mike the Situation? In that dumbass show back in the, I don't know, back in the day. With Snooki. Stupid ass Snooki. Yeah. So, I mean, think about it. I've said many times, you're just going to have to basically form your own opinion and come up with your own ideas. I don't know what else to say. Let me introduce you to my archons over here. I'll introduce you to my archons to finish off this video. This archon is named Buddy. Buddy's the newest archon. He's quite a horse. He's really very beautiful and gotten so big. He's huge. Getting that way. This one's Nikita. Nikita is an archon I've had for, I don't know, 3 or 4 years. Yeah, that's Nikita. And this archon is Wildfire. I actually named her after the Michael Murphy song, that's Wildfire. And this one, this hellion, this is a hellion. I don't walk behind her. Her name is Lucy, for obvious reasons, Lucifer. And last but not least, where did he go? Oh, there he is, Mr. Crowley. Yes, after Ozzy Osbourne. Hi, Mr. Crowley. Well, there are the archons, and I think I'll go and figure out what I'm going to do today in the demiurge. Oh, I better get my coffee mug, because I'm going to go in and get some more. I might light up a cigarette. What do you think about that?